She hadn't looked into a mirror in almost a year. Not because she didn't have one, but because she didn't like the person staring back. Rachel Porter, 39, was once the kind of woman who walked with confidence. She had a good job, 2 wonderful kids, and a smile that made people feel at ease. But that was before her husband left. Before the house felt too quiet. Before every mirror in her home became a reminder of what she'd lost. It wasn't just a breakup. It was a breaking of spirit. She stopped going out, stopped dressing up, even stopped talking to her friends. Every morning, she would brush her hair without ever lifting her eyes toward her reflection. "I'm just tired," she'd tell herself. But deep down, she knew the truth: she didn't feel enough anymore. One rainy afternoon, while cleaning the attic, Rachel found an old box labeled "Mom's Things." Inside were faded letters, a pearl brooch, and a small hand mirror with golden edges. When she lifted it, a note fell out. It was written in her late mother's elegant handwriting. "This mirror once showed me my truest friend, myself. Don't forget to look at her kindly." Rachel sat on the floor, holding the mirror with trembling hands. Her throat tightened. She hadn't realized how long it had been since she'd truly seen herself. When she finally dared to look, her eyes welled up. The woman staring back looked older, tired, and sad. But behind the exhaustion, she saw something else, a quiet strength. It startled her. That night, she stood in front of the bathroom mirror again, not to fix herself, but to find herself. For the first time, she whispered aloud, "I'm still here." The next morning, she went for a walk. No makeup, no filters, just her. She smiled at a neighbor she hadn't spoken to in months. She stopped by a coffee shop and ordered her favorite drink, something she hadn't done since her divorce. The barista, a young woman with bright eyes, said, "I love your earrings." It made Rachel laugh softly. "Thanks. I almost forgot I had these." That small compliment lit a spark. She began writing again short poems about healing, strength, and survival. She posted one online, nervously. Within hours, strangers commented, "Your words hit home. I needed this today." Every message became a mirror reflecting back the light she had forgotten was hers. Months later, she was invited to read one of her poems at a local women's event. As she stood on stage, her voice shook at first. She read, "The mirror didn't change. I did. I stopped asking it for beauty. I started asking it for truth." When she finished, the crowd was silent for a heartbeat, and then they stood and clapped. Afterward, a young woman approached her, tears in her eyes. "Your poem helped me. I've been where you were." Rachel smiled gently and said, "Then promise me something. Go home and look in the mirror. Not to judge yourself, but to meet yourself again." Rachel started a small online group for women called the Mirror Project. Every week, members shared one positive thing about themselves, a smile, a memory, a step forward. It grew from 10 people to over 10,000 inches a year. One night, as she prepared a post, Rachel caught her reflection, again this time smiling without hesitation. The same mirror that once reflected her pain, now reflected her purpose. Healing doesn't start when others see your worth. It starts when you do. Look in the mirror, not to fix what's wrong, but to recognize what's right. The reflection staring back has survived everything you thought would break her.